Well, guess who's back?
Hey, man, welcome back.
Thank you so much. I announce my own returns. Welcome to the apartment. I'm Asif Ali. This is
Ali Baluch.
And what a journey.
It's been almost 4 months.
I have been gone. I went to work on a TV show.
What TV show?
It Wrecked, season 2 of which is premiering June 20th on TBS. You can watch the entire first season for free on the TBS app. So get caught up.
Wow.
I was in Fiji, just eating food and shooting. I got heat stroke the first day.
I heard.
That was tough, but it was very fun, and I think this season is going to be awesome.
Are you killed off?
I'm not killed off. I mean,
or is that a spoiler?
You would think I'd get killed off. I'm not killed off.
Okay.
And then I went to New York. I went for Upfronts.
Hey, congrats. How'd that go?
Went fantastic. Drake did the after party.
Wow.
Very fun. That guy puts on a show.
It's been quite a journey, man.
Yeah, and you've been here.
I've been here, man.
You broke your body.
I
in my absence,
dislocated my elbow and broke my arm at the same time.
Oh God, a softball injury.
Yeah, softball injury.
Hard man playing softball broke his arm.
It's my life.
But we had some big guests. I mean, I was keeping track.
We had Jay Versace come through. Mm-hmm. We had For Y'all Entertainment come through. Mm-hmm. We had Hassan Minhaj. We did our first live event last week.
I'm so mad I missed that.
Hassan, yeah, man. If you were there, it would have been great. It would have been a good time. And then today.
Oh, today. Can we talk about today?
Okay. First of all, if you guys are watching this, welcome to the apartment. If this is your first time, and if you're a returning viewer or listener, welcome back. This is the apartment. It's our chance to sit with our favorite diverse content creators, influencers, actors, comedians, athletes, musicians, etc., and just hear about their journey and their thought process and their work ethic, and some inspiration as well. So this episode was supposed to start at 4 p.m. our time.
Yes.
And LA traffic is insane.
It's the worst.
He left at 3 p.m. and a 25-minute drive. He still couldn't get here in an hour because traffic was crazy. Mm-hmm. So Adande, swoozie, was on time crunch. So we kind of got started.
I just popped in.
So you're going to see the first maybe 10 to 15 minutes with just me and Adande speaking.
And then just wait for it because I know it'll be sad and you'll want to turn it off. But then I show up.
And then Asif shows up.
God bless.
He saves the day.
Yeah.
And
I'm wearing contacts today. I mean,
literally,
you don't want to miss this.
I haven't seen you in 4 months. And the first time I saw you back was like in the middle of this interview.
I'm a new man.
And I had so many questions.
Yeah.
But I was like, we'll save that for later. It was just a lot going on.
So this interview is going to be great. We get into animation, keeping your career steady, how to treat your fans.
A lot about just wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom in here. His experience of being a black man.
Also, Call of Booty.
We get closure for that. And before we start
this interview, which you're gonna love, we got to shout out our sponsors, Adidas, of course. Adidas, when you break your arm and want to make it look like, I don't know, bionic. You want to Adidas. You just woke up and you also broke your arm. So there you go.
Shout out. Oh, and also, as we mentioned in our last episode, we have a new sponsor.
Guys, just when you thought it couldn't get any better,
this is actually really exciting.
We got another sponsor, okay?
Oh.
Wendy's, okay?
Right there.
Wendy's, you know her. You love her. She makes food that's not, what is it, not frozen?
Never frozen.
Never frozen.
Always fresh.
Always fresh. So, Wendy's. You don't manage your time well, and you don't have that much money. Wendy's.
Wendy's. We know you on Twitter, but our food is delicious. Wendy's.
Yeah. Wendy's. You could walk through the drive-thru at this point, and I don't care.
Wendy's. Your food will come out before you're done ordering. That's how quick their service is.
And you'll shit it out before you get home.
Before you're finished eating.
Yeah, before you're finished eating. So that's it. Thank you.
I feel like
Adidas.
we just lost our sponsorship there.
No. They're very fun. Adidas, we shit on Adidas. They're fine. So shout outs to Adidas and Wendy's. And enjoy this interview with
Adande Swoozie Thorne.
Swoozie.
Today joining us on The Apartment, we have Swoozie with over 4.8 million subscribers.
You're rolling already?
Yeah, man.
Shoot, I wasn't ready.
It's okay. We're just going to roll into the intro and then,
I'm kidding. I'm always ready.
I get that vibe, over 600 million views. Swoozie is one of the OGs and still one of the most relevant YouTubers
Thanks,
around.
man.
I mean,
That's
facts.
what's key is the relevant stuff.
Facts, man.
The subscription and the subscriber count is great, but your view count is even more great.
Yeah. I mean, if you can have the numbers, but if you're not having the relevancy, and you are one like you and like Tim are one of like those OG guys that have stayed.
It's the
relevant.
invisible cool, man. I mean, it's almost like high school, but now you can almost shape it. Imagine like when you're driving down the street and they're doing road work and they set up those cones to kind of shift you.
Yeah.
You can like shift your relevance in a sense.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of YouTubers, myself included, we get comfortable in a certain style of video and then we keep wanting to do that. But as soon as the audience gets ahead of you, that's when your relevance starts to dwindle.
I want to get to that point.
Okay, I'll hold it.
I'll finish this intro. His YouTube videos are usually animated, personal, intimate stories that he narrates, which many believe to be exaggerated or made up, but you repeatedly over the past 10 so years have stated that they're 100% true. The videos touch on what Swoozie considers the 3G network.
Oh, you have done your homework.
I know, man.
Dang, where'd you find that on my MySpace?
I can't tell you. It consists of God, gaming, and girls.
For sure.
That's the theme usually. They usually have a moral to it, and there's an advice outcome at the end of each story. Not only is Swoozie a YouTuber and an animator, he is also a champion gamer.
I try really hard.
I mean, like, the awards speak for themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a few of them. It's a lot of fun, man. It's like I gamify YouTube. That's essentially what I think I owe my success to on there. I treat YouTube like it's a video game.
Yeah.
So it's there's frame data, there's all that stuff. It's just I'm not in competition with anybody else. I'm in competition with myself is essentially how I look at it.
So, I mean, you've stated before you imagine that you have a little twin.
Yeah, man. This guy.
We do our homework, man.
Yeah.
We don't want to waste your time here, bro.
Essentially is what it is, because I mean, at the same time, I love the landscape that it's not like product. I'm not trying to move product. I don't have hats to sell. I don't have shoes or socks to sell. That if I don't move these units, I don't make money. All I need is your time.
Yeah.
So if you can give me your time, you can give you somebody else's time. You can watch Logan Paul. You can watch Fuzi. You can watch Lore DIY. Give everybody your time. But as long as you give me yours, then I'm fine.
Which, I mean, everyone, like, your channel is one of the few that there's this, like, black hole complex to it.
In what sense?
Where
you
once
get sucked in?
you get sucked in. And they're short, they're sweet, and they're fascinating enough. And I think, honestly, the art of storytelling, it's an art itself.
It is.
And you've, like, mastered it.
Thanks, man.
I mean, like, the numbers speak for themselves. Facts, you know?
You got to give people a reason to talk about your stuff. And that's one thing that once I realized in gamifying YouTube,
Yeah.
why should I share this is essentially what I asked myself. And I wasn't asking that for a long time. I think a lot of YouTubers, we don't ask ourselves that fundamental question is, if I wasn't in this video, would I share it?
Yeah.
And sometimes the answer is no. So I have to like sit down and break it down. Okay, this video, I'm 80% done with it. But would I share it if I wasn't in it? Sometimes that answer is no, and I got to start all over.
Yeah. And every time you say something, there's a little nugget. All right, let's follow this up. Let's follow this path. So the confessions of a Disney employee.
And they have the costume people who believe they are those Disney characters. Kids are sitting on a bench somewhere, you know, drinking a soda, and they'll run up and slap the drink out of the kid's hands. Like, kids, quick, come on! I just stole this loaf of bread from the marketplace because I'm poor. And guess what? You're poor too. Sultan's guards are coming. Let's run. Let's sing. Let's sing a song while we run. Gotta keep one jump ahead of the law, men. I never had a problem working with those people.
You're one of your first viral ones.
Yep.
One of them, you know, you've had many. You had to do that.
Correct.
Well, I mean, you didn't have to, but like you did it twice though.
I did do it twice. Yeah, I got through it, and then 80% through it, the hard drive crashed. And I was like, do I do this video all over again? Or do I just move on? And I decided to start from scratch. And at first it was in black and white.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it right. And that was actually the first video that I decided to do with that mindset. If I wasn't in it, would I want to share it? So I had to make it that much better. And I had DJs in Afghanistan tweeting me the next morning. So
Shout out to my Afghan people, man.
legit, like I literally
I got my Afghan rug right here.
That's
and
not
everything.
even like an exaggeration. That was one of the first tweets I saw when I opened up my Twitter the
No
next
way.
morning, and I was like, this dude is a DJ in Afghanistan tweeting
We
me.
hold it down out there, man.
The
Yeah.
love, bro. The love is so real.
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, everybody was just going. The other YouTube celebrities, like who was it that first started tweeting it? It was
It's like 2011 or 2010?
Yeah, 2011. It was Freddie Wong. He was the first popular YouTuber.
Yeah.
He literally tweeted, just said, "You need to watch this." That was the tweet, and then my link, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've made it."
That's incredible, man. I think we'll save the pivot to the end. Well, not the end, but let's start from the beginning, man. Let's start
go
from
back.
the origin.
Let's take a walk.
Let's go all the way back to Trinidad.
Oh, that far back.
Let's go that far back.
Okay,
because
let's go.
it's the story's interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your parents were in New York.
Yep.
They studied in New York.
Correct.
Born and raised in Trinidad, right? What did they study, and what was their reason to come back instead of like just being like, you know what, we got our degrees, let's just stay.
That is a good question. I forget what my parents were studying, to be honest. I know my dad was studying economics. I forget what my mom was studying.
Yeah.
But they were essentially friends with benefits for a long time.
Wow. That's right.
Yeah. And then my mom was like, "Wifey me up or I'm out."
Yeah.
And then I came along. But yeah, and then my thing was my dad was very big on me not being born in America. He thought there was going to be some kind of war, some kind of something. He was one of those.
Yeah.
So he was like, if he's born in Trinidad, they can't draft him. So,
that's so dope.
Once my mom got pregnant, we shipped over there.
Gotcha.
And we were there until it just got too crazy.
So yeah, now when you were there, did you guys is Creole a dialect, or is that
no? Well, that's Haiti more so.
Okay, so
in Trinidad, it's broken English.
Okay.
So it's, imagine like how you've heard Jamaicans.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot more Jamaicans that I think are more commonplace than Trinis.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that is what we sound like.
Okay.
So not so much Creole, but broken English.
No. Okay. When I was so you know there's that story that you've talked many times about why you guys left after like a burglary.
Correct.
Pardon my but like growing up there, how was it? Do you go back often? You know,
I've been back twice. Well, actually more than twice. But I mean twice since I got a little bit older.
Yeah.
And by older, I mean like in my teenage years.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten too bad, man. I think the last time we were going to go back, they initiated a 8 p.m. curfew.
Wow.
Nobody on the island could be outside of their house after 8 p.m. That's how kind of, wild out. We're Trinidadians, us Trinis, were either extremely cool or extremely crazy.
Yeah.
There's very few there in the middle.
Yeah.
But I want to go back so bad. Like I keep telling Superwoman, like, yo, next time you go, let's roll, because none of my other friends want to go.
Is there a big South Asian community out there?
By South Asian, what do you mean?
Like Indian and Pakistan?
Okay, because some people, when they say Asian, they mean Indian. Some people, when they say Asian, they mean Chinese. So.
Okay. So yeah, South
Yes.
Asian is like the Pakistan, Bangladesh, India. Okay.
There is.
Okay.
And there are some Chinese people.
Really?
My grandmother is 100% Chinese. That's why I look a little bit extra. But yeah, and there are some YouTubers that I used to watch who were in Trinidad and 100% Chinese. It was so crazy at first to watch.
That's so crazy.
But yeah. I want to go back. Superwoman keeps dogging me. Lily, like, stop going without me. Legit.
Yeah. No, that's.
I'll pay my own way.
I wasn't aware. Yeah. So a lot of your stories are very open, and very intimate, and very personal.
They're gonna get more personal.
Okay. So. Do people ask you? I mean, sometimes you might censor names, or you might tell us you're censoring, but it might say, I don't know.
It depends on how upset you get me.
Yeah.
Like Holly/Molly.
I'm not familiar with that one.
That was when my thing is, I like living on the edge.
Yeah.
I like living in the fast lane.
Sure.
Not too crazy, but random ideas I get, I like to execute them, especially now that I'm in a position that I can do them. So when I'm hanging out with a girl, I'm like, we should go on a date. But instead of going to P.F. Chang's here, let's go to P.F. Chang's in Hawaii. And literally, I'll pay for your way, da-da-da-da-da. So that scenario went down.
Very spontaneous.
Yeah, and she showed up, I showed up, but then she just flaked on me when we got there. Her flight's supposed to land at like 11 o'clock, so I get there around 11:15, and I text her, I'm like, yo, when you land, holla at me. 11:30 comes around, 12 o'clock rolls around, 12:30 rolls around. I'm like, the H? So when I call you out on that story, your name is going to be real close. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
have people ask for you to like delete the video? Like, hey.
Twice.
Okay.
And I didn't delete it.
Fair enough.
But the thing is, like, they kind of get it. At first, not everybody's in the YouTube space.
Yeah.
So when they first see it, it's the initial shock, and they start seeing those comments, they're shocked. But then after about a few days, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's anonymous.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. So let's go. Okay, so let's go back to that pivot thing. So
Okay.
you're talking about how you can navigate the relevancy, and being ahead of the audience. But I feel like for almost like outside, like because you kind of started with like little vlogs,
Right.
Paper animation,
Correct.
and then you went into like the full blown animation, and it's all, but it was still story based narrative. And maybe I didn't notice, but maybe you can give me insight. It's kind of stayed the same, and it hasn't failed.
Right. Right.
What is the pivot, or what is you molding the
Where's the climax?
Well, no, because we were talking about like how you can like kind of like
Set up the cones.
set up the cones. What have you done to like
So
direct?
I try to keep it for the 2016 year. I've kept it pretty consistent on conditioning people to, when you come to my channel, you're going to see 50% my face, 50% animation in the majority of the videos.
Yeah.
So now that I'm trying to get back to getting you on that edge of your chair, like what is he going to upload next?
Yeah.
I'll do stuff where it's just no animation, just my face. And now I had a friend drop off his turntable deck. So now it's just like, I'm teasing it on Snapchat and stuff like, hey, something's coming.
Yeah.
So legit, like, I mean, the first video of every year, I try to do something completely different. So as you might have seen, I've done some Lego animations as well, where it's not me telling a story about my life or even narrating it with Legos. It's a complete written script, 5 pages, and we're just acting out something which is completely Legos. So I'm slowly trying to get people to the point to where, again, you don't know what to expect when you come to the channel.
Yeah.
So again, it's trying to stay ahead of your audience in the sense of...
How is it received every time you switch it up?
It depends. Like, so for example, I did the first video of this year. We're in 17 already? Never mind. The first video of, it might have been this one. They're starting to blur together. I did a collab with Mike Realm. No, it was 16. And it was not my face, not a story, not anything. It was just a Disney mega mix where I did my favorite. It was like Aladdin sound bites. It was, I don't want to mess these up, a Lion King sound bites. And we literally did a 3-minute video of just us scratching on the turntables and a remix of Disney.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the week prior, you would have never seen that coming.
Right.
So same things like that, like travel videos, things like that. I try to keep it to where I can throw anything on there and it's not too far left.
How quickly do you feel like in the year are you bored?
In this year or
No, just in general, where you're doing like, okay, they want this kind of a thing, and you get in that rhythm, and then how quickly in are you like,
I feel like I get bored faster than them.
yeah.
So it depends sometimes. Like if I do 2 of the same exact video, I want to do something completely different.
Yeah.
That or just share something so gossip worthy
Yeah.
that it's just like, holy crap, you need to check out this dude Swoozie.
Yeah.
So, like, nobody talks about being stood up. Nobody talks about their embarrassing moments.
No.
Nobody wants to put themselves out there because we're so concerned about making our lives look glamorous and luxurious as a YouTuber. I'm okay with sharing the embarrassing stuff. So, there's another one coming.
It's like
How dare she?
It's like
How dare
it's
she
like
stand you up?
Exactly.
Oh my god.
But it's embarrassing, but with that luxury.
People can relate. Because the thing is, with us YouTubers, we also like to feel like we have to frame everything perfectly. The saturation on this picture has to be perfect.
Yeah.
The lighting, everything has to be perfect because we
keep it
want
real.
everybody
Keep
to
it grimy.
think.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
especially these travel, when we travel, we want to make it look as awesome as possible. Like, look at these trees. We're in Fiji. We're here. We're there.
Yeah.
I'm okay with keeping it real. Like, listen, guys, I'm looking like a bum today. Because we can all relate to that,
Yeah.
And I have no problem sharing it. So even when I get stood up, when I say to myself, I can never tell anybody this, instantly followed is, but I need to tell them this.
I have to.
Yeah.
And that keeps it relatable.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, I think that's what it comes down to is relatability.
Yeah.
And for example, an upcoming video, I'm talking about just working a 9 to 5. And most of us YouTubers, we haven't had to experience that in a while.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's more people working a 9 to 5 than people that aren't.
I'm working a 9 to
Yeah.
5.
So when I cracked
He
that
broke
back
his
open,
goddamn elbow. Look
I
at him.
know.
That's how hard he's hitting these 9 to 5s.
MTV is just not treating me fair. man.
They're like beating you.
Yeah.
So yeah, things like that. It's just like we are so in a bubble now, and I feel like even when you look at comedians, because at the end of the day, like a lot of us are trying to bring humor to the channel, the YouTube.
Yeah, of course.
So when I look at other comedians, Dave Chappelle, Dane Cook, the greats, their stuff when they started out was bam, amazing.
Yeah.
And then over time, it's slowly this. So I start to study like why is it that over time all of them slowly do this? Not, well, I shouldn't say all of them, the majority of them, a number of them. And they start living a different lifestyle. They're not hanging out with the same
It's not
kind of
relatable
friends.
anymore.
They don't have to deal with the same kind of struggles they did when they were not up here. So I try to make sure that in my regular day-to-day, I'm still dealing with the stuff that I dealt with before the success started to come into the picture.
That's
So you keep the friends the same. You try to keep your life the same.
man.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you have other opportunities at you right now.
And I feel that way with a lot of my favorite musicians, including Kanye.
Like you're one of the few that will actually publicly say that.
Yeah.
No.
And I totally agree with you.
And it's like, I love Kanye to death, right? But College Dropout. And
oh my gosh.
And you look at like basically any kind of like hip hop artist now, from when they first started, it was about that struggle.
Yep.
That was the first album. The first album is always about this struggle.
I'm hungry.
This hunger. And College Dropout was this hunger, like, Cudi, Kid Cudi, it was like this, his mixtapes.
50 Cent.
50 Cent.
I mean, Get Rich or Die Trying. When you heard that, the streets went crazy.
Yeah.
What was the last thing he dropped? We don't even know because it's like he's not hungry anymore. He's fed.
I also feel, though, the flip side of that argument is that not everyone has 10 albums worth of things to say.
True.
Some people only have like
1 or 2, maybe 5.
an hour's worth of things to say.
Yeah.
That are like concise and great, and then the rest is just them trying to maintain this sort of factory.
So I try to stay on that Wi-Fi network. I try to stay to where here's a signal being put out. This is what I started doing.
Yeah.
And I try to stay as close to that as humanly possible because if you don't regulate yourself,
Yeah.
you'll go off and then you're wondering why is nobody listening to my stuff.
Do you ever take breaks?
Yes and no. And it's just in the moment. If I'm feeling too overwhelmed, if I'm not feeling excited about a video, right now it's been a month since my last upload.
Because I feel like sometimes, it happens a lot with YouTubers, especially as they
And we
feel
get
like that
busy.
need of like, I got to put 5 things out every
Exactly.
week for the rest of my
I
life.
wanted to put a schedule together, and I would have double my subscribers if I did.
Yeah.
But I never want to get to the point where I'm obligated, where it's, hey guys, every Wednesday, but then Tuesday night I have nothing out,
And
I
you're
have
just
to force.
freaking out.
I got to
Yeah,
force
yeah.
something out. It's not
Yeah,
going to be the same as a Disney
we,
employee.
We kind of
Yeah, we have that problem all the
we
time.
had that problem where we were like,
So like we take little breaks,
Yeah.
and we're like, until we get someone that we actually want.
It's a fine art. So we
Yeah.
talked about gamifying because he was mentioning that I started in gaming. And
Yeah.
what I do is I gamify YouTube. So my thing is, what is your reaction when you find out that Swoozie has uploaded a video? I want to make it so when you see that push notification on your phone, there is a physical, emotional reaction to where even if it's been a month, you're still clicking it.
Yeah.
So that's where I have to counteract that whole scheduling consistency thing because that is really huge, consistency.
Right.
It's really
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
But to counteract it, I want it to have some kind of emotional
Value
attachment
to it. Yeah.
So when you see it, you know this kid put some work into that video, and you're going to
Yeah.
rush to it.
Yeah.
You've talked about that you kind of feel like you have a responsibility when you do your videos, and you have to think about consequences that happen. What do you mean by that?
We all do. So Miley Cyrus kind of said it in the wrong way. She was like, I never wanted to be a role model. I never wanted to be looked up to. It's like the instant that you
Charles
step
Barkley.
out, the instant you step out as a public figure, people are going to look at you as a role model. They're going to look to you for answers, even though you never said, I want to be some kind of spiritual guide or anything.
Yeah.
But you're going to represent a lot of things as soon as you step out as a role model. We all embody different things. Everybody in this room embodies men. So all of our actions reflect as men. I'm Trinidadian. I'm black. I'm male. I'm from Florida. I live in LA. So all those things, just off the top of my head, I represent.
Yeah.
So all my actions have consequences. So if I do some girl dirty, it's like, oh, those Trinis are no good. Or these black dudes in LA are no good. So those are the kind of consequences.
I'm trying to be a bad boy.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, you
Indian
can.
there's
Girls
not enough-
love the bad
There's
boy.
not enough Indian bad boys, so I'm taking that one.
Go for it, man.
Sprinkle it in there. But yeah, especially on YouTube, man, because there's a lot less barriers to get to the YouTubers or digital stars.
Right.
So when they look to me in a different light. Like, yo, that's my boy. That's my friend.
Yeah. Do you find it weird that there is that difference of like, if I saw, I don't know,
Michael Jordan?
If I saw Jude Law on the
Okay,
street, I
good
would be
example.
like, that's Jude Law, right? I'm gonna leave him alone, right? Do you find it weird that when people see you that have watched you, because they feel like, oh, you're my brother, they just go up to you no matter what
me,
you're
not weird
doing
at all.
and they're like, hey,
They
you're
get-
taking a
they
shit.
get-
I love your channel, man.
This dude tapped me on the shoulder while I was peeing at the airport.
Oh, God.
That's real. You don't touch a dude while he's peeing.
With his chin, he's like, hey, how are you?
What you doing there?
Hey, what you got going on over there? Love your channel.
Legit, this dude tapped me on the shoulder, and I was like, I'm being touched right now. It was my
Yeah.
first reaction.
It's
I
the most
looked at him.
vulnerable position you could be
Yeah.
in.
And I was at the stall, and I looked at him, and he's like, oh my God, Swoozie, what are you doing here? And I wanted to be like, peeing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, bro, I'm at an airport, I'm flying. Where are you flying to? Like, no intro, no warm-up, no nothing.
Yeah.
So the thing is, that's the level it's gotten to. So I'm prepared for pretty much anything else beyond that.
Okay. And you're good at handling it. You've never had points where you're like, I'm going to be nice, but
No,
in my heart,
this
I'm
is
like,
what we sign up for.
Yeah.
There's certain lines, and I feel like everybody's a professional fangirl nowadays.
of course.
So when I first got into the industry, it was through a TV show on DirecTV, and they sent every single one of it was 60 people on the cast, 60. They sent all of us to media training, and we had the same teacher that taught Tiger Woods. And the first thing he said when I walked in the room, he was like, "If you're not okay with the idea of people going through your trash at the end of the driveway, or sitting at the end of the driveway with their Zoom cameras taking pictures of you through the
Don't
blinds,
do this.
This is not the industry for you." So they started me off with
Wow.
that.
This
Okay.
was CGS or
Yes,
CG? Okay.
CGS. Dude, this is homework.
They need
Do
to,
homework,
they need to
man.
teach that class.
Yeah, a lot. I feel like a lot of YouTubers.
They
kinda-
definitely need to take this class because I
YouTube
feel
needs to provide that type of training.
that,
Yeah.
you know what, half of us probably wouldn't even show up. We'd be like, yes, I'm down, and then not show up. Because, I mean, they give us a lot of opportunity. YouTube is going to start acting classes.
No.
Oh, really?
We have
That's
a lot
good.
of thoughts about YouTube actors. You know.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
YouTube does as well. But the thing
Yeah.
is, YouTubers, in our own minds, we think we're the best at everything.
You think it's possible because I think the theory is that like if you get too much validation too early,
It's exactly what
it's
it
like
is.
why would I try?
I'm the best at everything. That's all you see YouTubers
best
trying to
at
rap
everything.
now
Yeah.
and trying to sing, and they're just
Yeah.
not good. But all
Yeah.
their fans are like, we love you.
I love you.
You're doing great.
And
I'm
if someone's critical, haters gonna
just
hate.
a hater. Let's get these haters out of here.
There's no such thing as constructive criticism.
So once you get yourself to a certain point, we were talking about just you have to regulate yourself. You have to check and you have to know when you're putting out bad content.
But that's on the
self-aware-
person
yeah.
though. Like
That
not
self-awareness
everyone's that
is-
self-aware.
You have to check yourself. Or
Yeah.
and that's how you get to the point to where you're just like, I went to VidCon 2 years ago and there was an influencer, never seen him before. White guy, about 6 feet tall. And this is where I start messing up. 'cause when I
Almost
start,
all the fucking
Right.
video
That's
creators.
where I'm good. That's why I'm good because there's a lot of these guys. But these guys are ninjas. The internet is ninjas. This is,
Yeah.
which is why I will not put out any fraudulent information in my videos.
You won't
because
bow out us.
I will not bow out you
Yeah.
because you have 1 million plus people detective mode.
Yeah.
Because they're young. They got time to be detectives.
It's exciting.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so exciting to do.
They're not like I got 3 kids. I
Correct.
have other shit to do.
My one brain coming up with fraudulent stuff is not going to outthink the millions of people out
no,
there.
no.
So that's
they
why.
crowdsource.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the instant that one of my videos comes out as fake or fraudulent, then that discredits all my past
Yeah.
videos
Yeah.
and all my future videos, and it's a wrap.
That's just who you are.
All right. So this 6 foot.
Oh yeah, so the
White
6 foot
dude.
tall
Yeah.
kid was in the elevator, had his shades on. I walked in, and he was even acting like, "Don't look at me." I'm like, "Bro, whatever."
Yeah.
These 2 girls get in the elevator, and they're like freaking out, like, "Oh my god, it's him! It's him! It's him!" I hate to bother you, but can I get a picture? This is his reaction.
Wow. At VidCon.
What an
At
asshole.
VidCon, and that's when he said that. I'm like, "Bro, what are you here for?"
You
Yeah.
literally go to VidCon to meet people and take
Yeah.
pictures.
So then his reaction was, "Fine," and literally didn't even want to look at the camera. So the girl is there taking the picture, and this is him. They take the picture. "Oh my god, I love you! Thank you so much." Then the second girl, the camera lady, wants a picture now. So she's like,
Can I get a picture?
I know, we're so annoying, and boy, thank you for being so patient. And I'm like, this dude is not being patient. Like, I wanted to yell that.
Should have been like, I'm Swoozie. Let me say something. Let me,
Yeah.
bro.
Listen, ladies.
Should have checked that guy.
He took the girl's picture, the second one too, and it was like the worst attitude you can have. And it's
Yeah.
like, bro, you're not Beyonce. I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And even if you were Beyonce, that's not how you treat the people that love you.
Beyonce would take a photo.
Beyonce would.
She would.
I met Chris Rock at the Comedy Store one night.
How'd it go?
Not
Same
great.
thing.
Not great.
No.
He gave
I've
me.
heard that about him though.
He gave me the.
Who are you?
No, the side.
Yeah, it was. All right, make this quick.
And we're all professional fangirls.
Yeah.
It's a 3-second interaction.
Yeah.
Same with Kevin Hart. I met him. He wasn't nice to me.
Oh, he wasn't.
Oh, definitely not.
The movie theater.
At the movie theater,
yeah.
correct. And the thing is, it's almost to the point to where now, if I admire somebody in the industry, I almost don't want to talk to him if I see him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
Don't
I
meet your
say.
heroes.
Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
That's why I never want to meet Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
I know
don't
he'd
know
be.
who that is.
He'll punch you in the dick,
creator of
man.
Hamilton. He
Yeah.
wrote Hamilton.
Oh, really?
He's the
Okay.
sweetest guy in the world, from what I see. But I'm just
It'd be
scared.
great if you met him and he just like sang.
Ooh.
I would.
He sang his no to you.
Oh, I would.
Absolutely.
Can I take a pic?
not.
Absolutely not. And then
He
like
would rap
dances.
it.
dance around him.
He would rap it, give me a freestyle about how I'm trash,
Yeah,
and I'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Thank you so much."
And bro, it's so little nowadays. You have to give so little, and that you made their life.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: Hey, can I get a quick picture? Yes. Okay. Bye. I'm off to work on that caption. I don't have time to sit here for an interaction. You know
what I think is easier that I've seen some celebrities do is that they'll just like, if you want to take a photo, they'll be like, all right, give me your phone. And they'll take a selfie and give it back to you.
Really?
That way you don't have to do the shit of like, all right, so then can you hold the camera and then I'll stand here and we'll take 17 photos and double check it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. Just take the person's phone and be like, done. Here, get out of my face.
And
it's
that's
so
how
much easier.
People are such
much
professional.
Yeah.
I've had one out of all the subscribers and people that I've met, I've had one person that's gone over the line. And that's it. And that was at
really?
Disney.
What did they do?
They followed me.
Oh, like followed you where you were
Well, it
going?
was at Disney, so he followed me through the park. Now, at first it was so he can get his boy to come get a picture with me. But then after his boy got the picture, he kept following me. So we literally had to like...
What did you tell him?
We had to run, bro. I didn't tell him anything.
You ran?
We ran.
Took off.
We just like, I don't have time to sit here and be like, stop following me.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So I mean, the
That's
counter
weird.
argument is people are like, I feel objectified as a creator or as a person. I'm not a person anymore. I'm just an object where you take pictures and you leave. You don't even say hello to me.
Right.
You know?
I get that. But again, this is what we sign
That's
up
what you
for.
sign up for. I've heard people, though, respectfully say no, and it went over decently
Nicely?
well.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with Dave Chappelle once, and people came to take pictures with him, and he had a very nice way of being like, hey, I blah, 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 but I don't want to. I don't feel comfortable taking a photo right now. I'm just here. And they were like, oh, okay. But at least
I'd be pissed low-key.
he talked to them, though.
Right,
Like, he
right.
had a conversation like, what's your name? Blah, blah, thank you for support. I just don't feel comfortable taking a photo right now. I don't want people knowing where I am right now, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay. They got what they needed out of a
Right.
conversation.
Yeah.
They have to communicate with them.
Yeah, because he's very, like, he was looking at them in their
It's
eyes. He wasn't
gonna
like,
happen.
hey, get out of my face. It was like, hey, well, let me talk to you and tell
I
you
still
why
think
I
that's
don't.
an L. In my opinion,
Yeah.
because we asked for so little. You asked for us to go see all your movies, buy
Yeah.
all your CDs, go to all your concerts, and you can't give me 3 seconds?
True.
Yeah.
Interesting point.
So
Yeah.
to add to your point, yes, I get it. Like, who was it? The girl that's in Beauty and the Beast.
Emma Watson.
Yes, her thing is she will not take pictures because she doesn't want everybody to know within 10 meters where she's
she
at
is, yeah.
all times of the day.
Yeah.
But if I don't get one of these, I'm at least going to do one of these.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
still defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
So why not just get those 3 seconds out of the way?
I think for someone also at that level of like Chappelle, Emma Watson, like they know that the moment one person gets a photo, there's a line through
True, I
the
get
Comic
it.
Con line out
I
the
get
door.
it. That's you use the trick to walk with me. Okay, I'm really busy. Walk with me to take a picture. So when I get to my destination, I gotta go, guys.
Yeah.
They've stopped me while I'm having dinner with my family, and I'm just like so down.
Yeah.
Because again, the instant that stops happening, it's a wrap for you.
Yeah.
DMX, you know what he's doing right now?
Smoking crack?
Good guess.
No, he's on tour.
Is
he on tour?
Locked up or
I
something?
think my friend saw him on tour. Aren't they doing like a Rough Riders tour?
He is working at IHOP as a cook.
Oh, I saw.
No,
I've
he's
seen
not.
that. I've seen that.
Look it up.
I've seen that. I've seen the
The
picture.
DMX is working at Iva.
DMX is a cook at IHOP.
You sure it wasn't a lookalike?
No, it's him. TMZ found the pictures of fans taking pictures of him. Then everybody started talking. TMZ went down there, got him. So,
Is this
Google it. When we're done, y'all can Google it.
God.
That's
So, and that's the thing. When you're selling out stadiums, you never envision a day where...
Well, that's partly. I don't think that's because of him not taking pictures. I think that's
I'm
poor
not
money
saying,
management.
I'm not saying that's the
Yeah,
reason.
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm just saying relevance has its window.
Yeah.
And we all think because it's happening every time we go to the mall that it's going to be like this forever.
No.
it's not.
You gotta
No.
strike while the iron's hot.
Yes, and invest your money.
So okay, you're one of the OG guys, right?
Okay, yep.
You've been around.
I have.
Young kids are popping up every day. 17, 18, 20-year-olds
Making bank.
making
Yeah.
bank.
Buying
Now,
Lambos.
Yeah.
now, do you come in and be like, "Hey, man, I have some wisdom. Let me give you some wisdom."
Put some money away.
Or do you just? Are you just like?
Or are they not even hearing you?
Or are you just like, let me watch this fucking kid burn? Because that's what I.
Both
I,
are equally entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not fun watching someone invest in a 401k.
My thing is,
Let me watch this kid get chased off YouTube.
I'm a book waiting to be opened.
Okay.
So I put it out there that, hey, if you ever want help, because everybody knows to hit me up if you need help. Like
Yeah.
I'm literally on the way here in the Uber, there was another YouTuber like, yo, this is what's happening with my management. What should I do? I'm always here to help anybody. I check my DMs and I give advice, like these big old walls of text to everybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
My thing is, I'm here to help, but at the same time, I'm not going to force it on you. My first
You're not their
ex-girlfriend,
dad.
correct.
Yeah.
My first ex-girlfriend really has she has me in my own head because she would always say, I didn't ask for your advice. Stop giving it to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't offer my advice unless it's asked.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm answering the question.
No, I mean, you answered it.
I hate to watch people burn. I want everybody on this platform.
There's
to
more than enough
succeed.
space for everyone to succeed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good heart, man.
That's
why you're a better person than me.
I want people to
Ali Baluch is a
succeed.
piece of shit. He wants to watch everyone burn.
I watch other people, and then I hear like other people starting a podcast. I'm like, fuck your podcast.
Fuck your podcast.
I try to help as many people as I can because I've been in that position. There's been days where I've been blind. There's been times where I need help and I'm just like, nah, whatever, I'm doing me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's enough money out here for all of us to ball.
More than enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not hurting me. So
For
if
sure.
I help you, you can't hurt me.
Yeah.
Right.
Simple.
Right.
So last year, you had this huge moment in your life. You sat with the president.
He got to sit with me.
Dude, that's what all the comments.
Boy.
All the comments.
boy.
Kidding.
All the comments in it were like, "Yo, this black guy's so lucky he got to sit with swoozie." And they're like the top comments.
That's so funny.
I treated that like a collaboration.
Yeah.
So when they approached me, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew it's a huge honor.
Yeah.
And then I knew, okay, this is gonna be the last one because he's done after
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one.
Trump hasn't asked you?
No, well, not yet. Not yet.
the thing that really bothered me about your interview was you start off like very few people are given that chance, right? And there are like what 3 other creators that
Correct.
had that chance.
Me and two others.
2 other, yeah, 3 including you.
Right.
And you came off very strong. And I was like, you use that platform to talk about police brutality, about the injustice of black men being unarmed black men being killed and cops walking away. And then you doubled, like he answered and you doubled down on that.
Yeah.
Like, I get harassed often.
Right.
I've learned to live with the harassment, but people are dying now.
Right.
I can't sit by and let that happen. So my thing to you is, I feel like law enforcement, they're just bullies with badges at this point. They get caught on camera, they're killing people, and they go to the court of law and they get off without a lot of consequences. So I really want to know is accountability. What can you do with your time left? What can the government do with the time left? Because these guys are going through and they're killing people, and it's just like, I think they're developing a Superman complex.
You know?
Good eye.
And I was like, this is beautiful. But then the only thing that went viral
Yeah.
was
yeah.
you
The
asked
light
them
stuff.
about Drake
Yep.
and Kendrick.
Yep.
And that was the only, like,
Yeah, I saw that.
Obama picks
That was the only
Drake.
thing being shared. Yeah.
Oh, no, Obama picks Kendrick
He
Lamar.
picked Kendrick, yeah.
Out of,
They're still tweeting that now. Like all those popular Instagram pages are like getting that soundbite and putting it up like last week.
yeah. So, okay, so what made you talk about that issue first? About basically Black Lives Matter?
Because here's the thing. It's a huge. Go ahead.
And to add on to that, a lot of influencers at your caliber haven't spoken out about it.
Right.
Some have, but the majority have been silent.
Correct.
But you use that platform. What made you?
I've even done it in some of my videos. Like I have 2 videos, driving while black.
Yeah, part 1 and
Right. So like you mentioned in the intro, like I do want to educate, but in the same time I want to make it entertaining.
Yeah.
So I talk about like, yo, racial profiling is a very real thing, guys.
Yeah.
It's still happening, but at the same time I want to make it entertaining. I want to make it shareable at the same time too. So I do talk about it in my channel, but not in the way of, guys, we're out here getting killed. What are y'all doing about it? Because what's that really going to do? Is that going to stop the next cop from shooting somebody up? Probably not.
Yeah.
If I can get my message in and bundle it and package it the right way, it
Yeah.
might get out a little bit more. So
Yeah.
when I had the opportunity to talk to Mr. Obama, I did want to talk about it, but at the same time too, it's like I knew that the cops would probably have a better chance of hearing it in that vein, in that lane. So when I'm just like, all right, so I get harassed just being a black dude wearing his hat backwards. I legit will be driving down the street and see a cop pass, and in my rear view, see him bust a U-turn, doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So I knew talking about it on that platform, CNN will see it. I knew all these other guys. So I kind of wanted to do it, but not in a, oh my God, white people hate black people if they're cops, that whole thing.
And he responded too. He was like, I wear my hat backwards
Yeah.
sometimes too. Yeah.
And he rolled with it. I was waiting for a lot of the negativity on Twitter. It wasn't a lot. I got about maybe 5 people that were upset with that topic specifically. There was one Caucasian female that was like, I cannot believe.
Wait, hold on. She's subscribed to your channel,
Yes.
but does not agree with Black Lives Matter.
Right. So in this tweet,
That's pretty
this-
open-minded.
I mean,
of
look-
her. Just
look-
like I like your videos,
Well,
but
hold
I hate
on.
everything you stand
Before
for.
you,
What the fuck?
it's
Okay.
surprising because when Trump got elected, we
Yeah.
did that video where we're like, "Fuck this guy."
Yeah.
People, our subscribers were like, "Hey, whoa, Trump's a good."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "You're we're like
What?
super anti." Okay, but anyway, so yeah, this
No, I
girl.
know what you mean.
People
Yeah.
can like you for one thing and then
Correct.
not
Because
like
well,
everything.
that's the thing too. You look at Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan. Just
Yeah.
those two guys alone, both MJs.
Yeah.
They are here to do their specific thing. MJ is not where he's at because of his politics.
Right.
Michael Jackson.
He does a thing
He
really
plays
well.
basketball.
Really
like we
well.
want to see him
Yeah.
play
He's
basketball.
a documented douche.
Well, yeah, that I know too. I've heard about that.
Vince Staples, he was like,
1990 Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's such a scumbag. I love him. Michael Jordan and Donald Trump are the same kind of person. Michael Jordan, Donald Trump, they are the epitome of bad people in America becoming successful.
There's
But
a really
anyways.
funny Chameleonaire story. Have you heard about that one? You haven't?
No, I haven't.
really?
Oh, you got to look it up, guys. Just Google Chameleonaire Michael Jordan.
Really?
You made
It's the saddest,
you told a story,
funniest
once.
story.
and
of
we're
all
gonna
time.
come back to this one white girl who messaged you.
Yeah.
But I like you were telling the story in one of your videos. I was like, oh, he heard that story. Basically,
So basically, what happened is
Yeah.
Chameleonaire opens a store. It's just him. It's a very like DIY YouTube. He just
He
puts
talks
his,
to
he's vlogging.
camera?
He's
he talks
vlogging.
just straight to the
Cell
camera.
phone.
He goes,
camera.
guys, I don't even know what to say right now, but I went to this fundraiser, and it was this big fundraiser.
It's like
and
after the All-Star game.
yeah, and they're selling like they're auctioning off
Jerseys.
sports memorabilia, and all the money would go to charity. So he spends like a crazy like $20,000
Yeah, he said
on
like
like a
20.
jersey or something, like a Michael Jordan jersey that he wore in a game. He gets a jersey, and he's like, I never get starstruck. I never do this, but there's one person in the entire world that I looked up to and I idolized.
MJ?
And that was my hero. It was
MJ.
Michael Jordan. He's like, I bought the shoes. It was like my motivation to like be like, be motivated and blah, 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 and succeed. So he gets the jersey and he sees Michael
Is that
Jordan's
like this
sitting,
after party
It's like an after
then
party.
he sees him there.
Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan's at a table just
with
sitting
like
with people.
with Magic Johnson and Spike Lee?
So he takes the jersey and he goes, listen, I'm so sorry. I don't want to bother you, but I'm a huge fan and I just got this jersey. I was wondering.
That opportunity, just that moment.
Yeah.
And that opportunity.
Yeah, he goes, I was wondering if I could just take a picture with you and I'll be out of your way, whatever. Just similar thing to what you were saying, right? Michael Jordan unflinchingly looks up and goes, I don't take pictures with N-words.
What?
And then turns
And
around.
somebody was like, yo, but that's Chameleon.
But that's coming. He goes,
and
I don't
then
give
he
a fuck.
doubled down.
He goes, I don't give a fuck. I don't take pictures.
And then Spike Lee looks at Chameleonaire or whatever, and he was just like, he gave him this look where he's like,
I'm sorry.
he's
That's
like,
Michael Jordan.
He's like, that's like the Mike. He's like, that's
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, you know. And
That's
he was like,
Mike.
he was like, sorry, that's how it happens.
And Chameleon goes, it took everything in my being not to just punch him.
I don't think he would make that up.
no,
He
yeah,
wouldn't.
especially, and he put it out there like very openly, you know. And but anyway,
Anyways,
I'm
yeah.
hoping Jordan was drunk,
No.
and then partially hoping the story's not true. But
it's-
again,
this is gonna go in a little deleted scenes
We'll
thing.
add the link to the video on this.
Yeah, but to bring this back, so you do this talk with Obama, and
Yes.
then this one white girl tweets you, messages you, comments.
she says,
or-
"I cannot believe you called cops bullies with badges. I'm unsubscribing."
Wow.
I
We've called
clap
them
back.
worse.
Yeah,
called them much worse. Yeah.
I clap back with, "I can't expect you to ever understand what I've been through. I can't even count how many times I've been pulled over.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you've been pulled over, but I could probably count it on one hand." And we, got into a little bit of DMs.
Yeah.
And I kept it respectful because, again, she could not even begin to fathom
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
it's like being a black man in the South
Yeah.
dealing with the police. So, I mean, by the time I was 19, I had lost count of how many times I've been pulled over. By the time I was 19, so that's 3 years of driving. And I get the same, there's a light out in your tail light, or it's flickering, or this, or I ran your license plate as an I, but it was really a 1.
Yeah.
There's no way she will ever in her lifetime
No.
deal with that kind of racial profiling. I've lost count of how many times dogs have been brought out to my car.
Wow. Like the drug sniffing
Yeah.
dogs? Yeah.
She probably, again, has never once had to deal with that.
They were like, no. You just need to go on a walk. That's all.
So I
But
tell
yeah,
her, like,
yeah.
if you have to unscribe, I understand, but
Yeah.
I can't ever expect you to you won't ever understand what I've been through. So if that's how you see things, I can't change it, but that's why I'm coming from the bullies with badges situation.
Is there a solution to build that empathy?
With cops?
No, with
With
other people who who
I
aren't.
think they just have to see it more. I mean, I think there was that window where like black guys were just dying left and right. And I
You
think
mean all of American history?
And
when
but
it was
now,
being
now it's more
documented.
filmed. Yeah, now it's being filmed.
when it was coming out, and we weren't relying on media to
But
expose
isn't
it.
it?
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
it? Because I thought when all these videos were coming out, that it would really trigger
something, yeah.
something, and it's really
like right now.
disheartening to be like,
This
even
week-
when I present you
With
a
facts,
video and facts,
unedited.
people are still like, yeah, but their job
was-
is hard.
The video that came out, man's walking
Yeah.
backwards, hands up, gets murdered, executed. A cop just got let go, like clean, like
And
forgiven.
that's the other thing. Cops already
week.
know. Cops already know. No matter what they do, they're going to get off.
They're gonna get off.
And that's what I was talking about with Obama. What can we do to bring some accountability to the equation?
Yeah.
Because if I'm a cop, I already know. Like, oops. Phew. My first concern might be, oh crap, somebody's recording this somewhere. That's where it
But
starts and
even
stops.
then,
That's it.
Even then, if you shoot someone and someone's videotaping it, you know that the stats are on your side. 99.9% of
There's not going to be any consequences for my action.
No.
And that's why you see a lot of spoiled kids these days, because they know if I'm your mom and I tell you never put your hand in that cookie jar, and you put your hand in that cookie jar and I catch you and all I do is, don't do that again.
Yeah.
That's your only consequence. You're going to figure out, like, yo, I'm Superman.
Yeah. Or I'll
That's
I'll give you paid leave, or I'll give you like 3 cookies.
Exactly.
And tell you not to
So,
go in the cookie jar
bullies
for a month.
with
Yeah.
badges that have no accountability.
Yeah.
So that's why that was one of the ones that I pushed back on.
Yeah.
And again, when I had that opportunity with Obama, a lot of people were kind of upset, like, why didn't you ask more political questions? People are asking political questions every day on
Every day,
CNN.
yeah.
Are you watching that?
No.
And plus, he's getting that from them. That's not the reason I'm here. I'm here to bring something new to the table, so
Yeah.
that's what I tried to do.
Nah.
Wow.
That's incredible, man. So you don't really touch on politics though throughout your,
I did for that, and then I made a Trump video. It didn't go over well, so I took it down.
Oh no.
Why?
It didn't go over well.
Just
In what
views
regard
or
do you feel like
feedback?
views or feedback? Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was saying I hate Trump or anything. It was like an entertaining way. My friend Elijah did a Cloverfield type handy cam. Trump got elected.
Yeah.
And I'm in my basement now, and it's Hunger Games and everything going on.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I need something like that for my channel. Let's collab and just repeat that.
Yeah.
And then we'll do it with, Obama.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to interview me or have an interview a second time.
Yeah.
So then I talked to Obama's people. His people were like, this could be interesting,
Yeah.
but it could also be bad.
Yeah.
So you do whatever you want to do, but we'll just set up the interview and you could do whatever else you want to do around it. So I kind of spliced the interview with
the
this
thing.
whole basement time travel. We sent this video back in time from YouTube,
Yeah.
and it didn't go over well.
Oh man.
Bullshit.
And I'm not here to offend people. Granted, the internet is full of people who are professionally offended, and you can usually spot those guys. Like if I post a picture of me acting homeless, and hey, you're talking about homeless people. Listen, you know that wasn't my intention.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of people who were genuinely offended by the Trump video that we did, so that's not what I'm here for. So I took it down.
What do you think about people who disable the comments in their videos?
We all have our reasons.
Okay.
I'm considering doing that for a future video.
What I like about it is that it then becomes like you
All
just
about the
watch
video?
it, and then if you don't like it, you like how I watch regular TV. If I watch something and I don't like it, I go,
True.
I don't like this, and then
Moving
I move
on.
on. I don't sit there and craft a paragraph. You know what I mean? Or if you don't like it, you just like say it to yourself and you move on.
That can get the ball rolling. For example, let's say if we all made a video,
yeah.
and then at the end of this interview, I stand up and there's a big sweat stain on my crotch.
Yeah.
And nobody noticed it, but somebody in the comments was like, hey, everybody, did you notice that 6 minutes and 40 seconds? Okay, now that's so many people's focus.
That's all they're
especially
thinking
if
about.
it gets made a top comment.
Oh, I delete that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
give a
would
shit.
too.
I would
I
delete
would
it
too.
quick.
But
I censor.
you have to police.
goes in there. He
You
polices
have to
it, yeah.
police the channel because it's almost like the Wild Wild West.
It is. It really is.
If I walk into a new town and shoot somebody,
Yeah.
and no sheriff comes running, yo, I'm king of the city.
Yeah.
So you have to let your audience and the trolls especially know.
Yeah, because I'm like, sometimes we'll have a conversation.
It's not worth it. We're doing this shit out of our own,
Yeah.
no one's paying us
Yeah.
to do this kind of thing. We're not, on a payroll.
Yeah, sometimes we'll have a conversation that touches on race or something very deeper. I'm like, this is the focus. We want people to hear this.
Correct.
But then on the comments, like, oh, but this. I'm like,
Look at his hat.
yeah,
this is not. We're not here to talk about that, man.
Like, delete that. But anyway, so you're gonna disable one on an upcoming video.
Yeah, because I already know what the comments are going to be. Like, we've been on this platform for a long time, so we have an idea.
You can tell.
And I know with this upcoming video, it's unlike anything I've ever done. And a lot of my friends and family are telling me not to upload this video.
Wow.
And that's why I haven't made it yet, because they're always like, don't do it. But it's time.
Yeah.
And again, like, I treat my YouTube channel like it's my inner circle of friends. If you're giving me your time, that's your most valuable asset. You can't get more time back. And you're giving it to me, so that's why I made up my mind when I had 50 subscribers.
Yeah.
Anybody that comes here is going to get the juice.
True.
Yeah.
Because you could be doing a billion other things.
You're on the internet. Literally,
you're giving me your time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna share my innermost personal information with you guys because they deserve it at this point. People have been with me since 2006.
Yeah,
there have
Jesus
been those
Christ.
people.
You've been starstruck a couple times.
Yes.
Meeting Adriana Lima.
Oh my God.
And then
Lord.
meeting Bob Gale.
Oh my God. Wait, where did I talk about Bob Gale? That was in a Snapchat, wasn't it?
No.
Where did I talk about meeting Bob Gale?
Don't
really
worry
wanna
about
know?
us. We've hacked into both of your accounts. Okay.
Bro, I mentioned I didn't make a video about that.
No.
And I know I didn't tweet about that.
No,
We have a
do
whole,
when we do
have
our
a whole
homework.
team. We have a whole team of
We
people.
dig.
who get
man.
in
Do you
your
really want to
business.
know?
Yeah.
I dug up the last podcast, a recent podcast you did, Popcorn. We talked about Back in the
and you listened
Future.
to the whole thing?
Yeah, man.
We don't fuck around. Here.
I've listened. I lost count of how many like podcasts of yours I listened to.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, we don't want to touch on the same shit,
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah,
our homework.
I froze. Bob Gale was closer to me than both you guys are right now.
Wow.
And I couldn't even be like,
You didn't even
The
say
writer
anything.
for those of you who
Yeah.
don't know, the writer of Back to the Future
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
So you didn't even.
he was shaking everybody's hands in the
Where
row,
were
too.
you?
So I'm subscribed to the Back to the Future newsletter.
Of course you
Okay.
are. Yeah.
And they did a Back to the Future orchestra, like, reenactment.
Oh, they show the movie and they do
Yeah,
an orchestra,
and then they
yeah.
were going to play.
Yeah.
John Williams is a composer of that, or
No, that was...
Okay.
That's not John
Okay.
Williams. But they brought in a new composer to make new music for it.
Oh.
Because the first 18 minutes of the movie is no music.
There's no music. Yeah.
And I never realized that. So they made new music for that. Anyways, so I'm in my aisle, and then there was an intermission, and he's walking out to the lobby, and he's shaking everybody's hands at the end of the row. So I'm like, this is my moment. And literally, like,
You couldn't.
I couldn't. Literally, he shook the hand in front of me, and I couldn't.
You were literally frozen.
The door was open, and I couldn't.
that happened to me once.
With who?
But so you guys are gonna roll your eyes. I mean, I feel like you would appreciate it.
Let's hear it.
The first time it happened was with Zack Snyder.
Really?
yeah.
No, I can get that. I see that.
And then the
I see
second
that.
time it was Michael Bay.
I could both of them I could easily see.
Yeah,
Where
but-
did you meet Michael Bay? Maybe we should talk about that after. Where you could talk
No,
about it now.
we were at the Soho House. You did your show at the Soho House, and then I'm getting in the elevator here in LA, and I'm going down. And in the Soho House, there's these elevators. I'm at these staircase, and Michael Bay is walking down the stairs, and I freak out. And then as he's getting closer, I'm like, close, and I close the door on him.
Why did you close the door on him?
I was not emotionally or mentally prepared to speak to Michael Bay.
I thought you were gonna like open the
Or
door
be
and
in
get
the elevator
yeah.
with him.
So I'm going down.
Holy
I'm in the elevator with
crap.
Yuna.
Shut the
and Yuna's
door?
like, what's wrong? And I'm like, shh. I'm like, let me just compose myself. Let me compose myself. Let me think. What am I gonna say? How am I gonna approach this?
Did you wait in the lobby for him then?
No. So we got to the valet and we're waiting for our car. And then he comes into the valet and I'm like, okay, I know what to say now. And I go up to him and I say my thing and I'm like, thank you very much. I grew up on your films,
Yeah.
And then I look down at his feet,
And
wearing jeans with white socks
And slippers.
and dress shoes.
yeah, he
Interesting.
has dad
And,
fashion.
What do you say back though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, thank you
Okay,
for all
okay.
that. He was very kind.
Okay,
kind.
good.
He wasn't as douchey as he could be on set. But yeah, and then Zack Snyder, I was in film school in Chicago.
Did you talk
Were
to
you
him
like,
or no?
you were like, Zach,
Yeah,
why you ruining
Zach-
That's not a
everything?
choke, bro. You spoke to him.
Well, that was Michael
initial,
Bay.
You saved it. You saved.
Yeah,
Michael.
with
Okay,
Michael. But
okay.
when I was in Chicago, Superman, I was in film school. I was leaving, and then Zack Snyder was at this location where they were location scouting for the shoot. They're prepping for the next day, and I get this close to him, and we make eye contact, and I'm like, and I walk away, and he's by himself, standing alone,
Oh.
and he goes
What
up.
year is this?
2011.
So this is like 300 time?
No, he was shooting Superman, the first
Oh, okay,
Superman.
okay.
It was 2011 or 2012, and then he goes up to this lady with the baby, and like she's playing with the baby.
And he goes, "That's a cute baby."
He says that's a cute baby, and he walks away. I was like, and I go up to him, I'm like, do you know who that man was?
To the baby? You have no fucking idea, you little baby.
And she was like, "Oh my God, what if he castrates?" I'm like, "He's not gonna castrate a fucking baby."
You had your moment. You failed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the reason I bring these guys up, are there other people that you've felt starstruck?
Meeting?
Because you killed it with Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yeah, no, that one I manned up. I could have,
job.
it's a steal idea,
This
bro.
was 08, man.
This could have
07,
been a
08.
whole different conversation right now.
Oh, really?
He almost snagged her from Reggie.
But she's chatting me up with him, like, right over there where that wall is. And it's like, when you ask me what time it is,
What time? You have a phone.
you have a
watch.
phone.
Yeah.
She saw that I had the brand new iPhone, so I think that was her icebreaker too. She's like, "What time is it? Oh, that's the new iPhone. Okay." But at the same time too, she caught me on the red carpet,
Okay.
and I saw her eyeball me back there. So I knew that was. And most girls don't have game. Because society, the guy's supposed to approach you.
Yeah.
So most girls, especially when you're Kim Kardashian, you don't need game.
Nah.
Even if she wasn't a celebrity, guys would be lining up for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I manned
She
up
seems
with that
like she
one.
goes after what she wants, though.
Have you been starstruck with anyone else?
I saw Common one time, and it was just so fast
He's
because
great.
he was on my plane.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I got on the plane, and I looked up, and he looked up, and we made eyes, and he saw that I knew.
Knew who he was,
And he was
yeah.
like,
Oh, no.
so I didn't really choke, but I probably wouldn't have said anything. And then also the girl, Michonne from Walking
Walking Dead. Wow.
Ooh.
Same situation, but she didn't
Yeah.
put on the phone. She she
She
didn't
took
put
a sword out.
Yeah.
She's like,
No,
I
she
dare
was-
you. I dare you. Yeah.
No, I got on the plane. She was in first class. I kind of looked up at her. She looked at me. We made eyes, and then I just kept walking. Like, where do I know her?
That's the worst, because then by the time you figure it out, they're gone.
And it's funny because, like, as I was looking back at her, you could see people that watch the show be like,
Yeah.
Is that the girl from the...
because she's a wig, so she has
Yeah.
very short hair.
Yeah.
But the lips, you can't escape
can't
the lips.
escape the
So when I got off that plane, I ran to the lobby to find her, and I didn't
gone.
find her. As far as that, I knew I would get fired if I met the directors from The Matrix.
When you're at Hard Rock.
Wachowskis.
Well, yeah, even that. But I
Or-
told them when I met Cypher, Joe Pantoliano.
Yeah. He was in Bad Boys 1.
Right. And part
Right.
two. And part two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Michael Bay, that's the only... Yeah.
Those are very entertaining movies.
They are.
Yeah.
The thing was, too, when I got hired, they were constantly beating it into us. Do not talk to celebrities. You're going to see that.
Disney or Hard Rock?
Hard Rock.
Okay.
Even at Disney, it was a very quick, you're going to see celebrities, don't talk to them or you're fired. Move on. That's how they did orientation.
Wow.
Because celebrities come to Disney.
They
Yeah.
do.
I
Celebrities fucks with Disneyland.
The first celebrity I
Yeah.
ever physically saw in person was Gloria Estefan. She came...
I grew up on her music, man.
She came to Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
and she was so tiny.
She's a tiny woman.
And she was sitting in the front row, and one of the other employees was like, "That's Gloria Estefan," and I was like, "Oh my god, a famous person!"
Yeah.
And I froze.
So if
around
you're an
her.
employee and like someone famous comes and you take a picture,
Oh, you're done.
Oh, yeah.
done.
Cancellation. That's why when I go to Disney and these cast members will stop and be like, "I will get fired for this, but can I get a picture with you?"
Yeah.
When I hear them say that, I know what they're risking. So I'm like, yes, I will take a picture with you.
Yeah.
Yes, like whatever you want. Yes, because you're risking your job to take a picture with me or even to interact with me. You're not supposed to speak unless spoken to. So I told them at Hard Rock, like, listen, I'm fine as long as George Lucas doesn't come through here.
Yeah.
Or the directors of Matrix.
Uh-huh.
If that happens, I'm fired.
Yeah.
Anything else, cool. And I witnessed so many celebrities be jerks to their fans. Like, they hate their fans.
no.
So there was a good introduction to never be like that.
Don't
and I
be
had
like that.
plenty of examples.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna end on two things. and
Okay.
they're fairly deep. Well,
Okay.
the first one.
Let's go.
We're gonna take it back to what we kind of touched on in the beginning, your work ethic, you know, and you imagining that you have a twin,
Right.
That you kind of compete with. What's that all about?
So he's the guy that I kind of like. I call him Sam.
Oh, your twin, your
My
imaginary
twin.
twin.
My imaginary twin is Sam. And he's just so freaking cool. And my thing is, how do I out-cool Sam? To where it just gets into my being and it's just organic. So I feel competition brings out the best in people, especially when it comes to work.
Yeah.
When I went to animation school, they would kind of low-key pit us against each other. They say, okay, so your animation for this week is to make a dragon and have him eat a fly. Go. And I was like, I gotta outdo all these other guys, even though it's not a competition, you're just getting a grade. But I would start to notice, like, Angel's animations are always bomb. Let me go check out his. So I'd walk by his computer desk and be like, what you got going on? Okay, kind of cool. Now I gotta step my game up.
Yeah.
If it was just me in a room by myself, I wouldn't be like you. I gotta step my game up.
Yeah.
So the more
Always
I was trying
surround
to,
yourself with people who are better than you.
Correct. So the more I try to step my game up in class, I started noticing everybody would make my desk a stop. And
Yeah.
there'd be times I would just see silhouettes of heads looking at my animation as I'm previewing it.
Yeah.
So that taught me, like, listen, I need something to fuel my competitive, friendliness. So when it came to YouTube, it was like, I need something, because I don't want to compete with other YouTubers. I'll go crazy.
Yeah.
And at first I noticed I was looking at iJustine and Niga Higa. And back in 2006, I was looking at their stuff like, they didn't put that much work into this, is what my thoughts were.
Yeah.
Because iJustine, again, no disrespect or dissing to any of those guys, iJustine would go into a Mac store and not even use her MacBook, hit record, dance around, and get 1 million views.
Yeah.
And I'd be sitting here like,
Yeah.
I've been working on this video for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it maybe will get 5,000 views. So
Yeah.
that would annoy me. And I realized at that point, one, if I kept this up, I'm going to start having a dislike.
negative sort of,
toward
yeah.
iJustine. And she's too hot for
Yeah.
me to even go down that road. So cut that off.
Uh-huh.
Be in competition with yourself. Don't worry about what they're doing. Because low key, if this person is putting in 5 seconds into their work, when I put 5 days into it, it's definitely going to stand out. Especially if they get conditioned for this being the bar.
Yeah.
When they eventually discover me, yo, have you seen this dude Swoozie? It's
Yeah.
kind of what kept me going back then. So when it comes to my fashion, when it comes to my YouTube, the content I put out there, I'm always trying to compete with Sam.
That's
Wow.
crazy,
So
man.
everyone find your Sam.
Yeah.
I was gonna touch on this, but before I get into the last part, so you did, because you applied to Cal Arts and
Oh, yeah.
you applied to another art school in Florida. So you did go to animation school.
I did, but neither of those places, they both denied me.
Oh no.
Cal Arts denied me, Ringling School of Art and Design, and I was just too crushed after that to even apply to a third place. Because in my brain, I was like, I knew I was getting into Cal Arts.
Yeah.
John Lasseter, I really looked up to him. He's the director of Toy Story, and
Yeah.
he produced
Huge.
pretty much everything since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to Cal Arts. I'm going to go to Cal Arts.
You know, who, I'm sorry. Do you know who I think went to Cal Arts as well?
Who?
Michael Bay.
No.
I'm 90%
Let's
sure.
look.
Michael Bay. So okay, so you didn't hear back from these places.
Oh, I heard back, and it was like, no, we don't want you.
Okay.
How do they judge you? You send them a portfolio?
Yeah, you send in a portfolio, and let me tell you this. I did 3D art in my portfolio. You know, the red and blue.
Wow, yeah.
I did comic strips in the 3D art. I figured out how it works. Like, okay, when you draw the lines over each other, it's like in the middle ground.
Yeah.
When the red is slightly to the right, it's closer. So I literally drew comic strips in my portfolio in 3D.
Wow.
Original.
And they were like, nah.
Still, I would include the glasses in the book and everything. Both times.
Nah.
We don't want you.
He didn't go to Cal
God
Arts.
damn.
He didn't go to Cal Arts?
No, he went to Art Center of Design or something.
Okay.
in Pasadena.
And a lot of the Pixar guys went to Cal Arts. So I
Yeah.
was like, I need to be here. And I did not envision a path where there was no plan B. It was Cal Arts.
Yeah. It's one of like the school of animation. Yeah.
And the next best was Ringling because I saw the higher rate from Ringling was super high. So then when neither of those places, and my best friend got accepted in a Ringling.
Oh, God, that's the worst. When then they have that awkward conversation where they're like, yeah, I mean, I got in, but I'm sure they made a mistake.
Yeah.
You know what other
Yeah.
schools popping too?
What's that?
A lot of people sleep on this, but Cal State Fullerton. It's
Really?
in Fullerton because I interned at Nickelodeon. All the majority, 98% of the interns were from
Really?
Cal State Fullerton. They got the internship, and then majority of the people who work there graduate from Cal State Fullerton. So that was Nickelodeon, and from Nickelodeon they went to like DreamWorks, and now they're everywhere doing.
You want to hear
dope
something
stuff.
funny?
What's up?
I had a panel last year on animation, and we had DreamWorks animators quitting DreamWorks to do YouTube full time.
They could just make more
insane.
money
And they had
have
found
more
They
creativity.
found my channel, and they were like, "Dude, we see your numbers. We did the research. We know how much you're making, and it blows animation animators money out the water."
Yeah,
Wow.
that's incredible.
So when I heard that, I was like, "Oh my god,
Thank
this
you.
is insane."
You found your Cal Arts.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's like at first I was like, I'm gonna get so famous and then just crap all over these guys, but it's not about that, you
No.
know. It's like I want everybody to succeed. So if you're going to Cal Arts, if you're going to Ringling, secondly, I went to visit my friend a lot of times. I got into Ringling. The girls there are so gorgeous. I don't know what's in the food at Ringling,
And they
but
know how to draw.
Yeah, fashion, everything is on point in Ringling, man.
You know, I noticed because Nickelodeon was the reason why I moved out to LA.
Really?
Yeah, it was an internship where I got right out of school.
Nice.
They were so friendly.
Really?
I love
Like extra friendly.
extra friendly, and I was like, we would drive. I would drive some people, like since it was part of Viacom, we would have screenings at Paramount. They're like, oh, whatever movie you want to watch, go to Paramount Theater. So I'm driving some people from Nickelodeon, and I'm like, I'm naturally a cynical douchebag. So I'm like, I'm gonna test this guy. I'm gonna push him as far as I can to see for him to crack. And I'm just like saying like these really like passive things, and he's just like, that's just kind of how it is. And I'm like, fuck, you're just a genuinely nice guy.
That's how it is at Disney employees. Like the cast members there are some genuinely good people. But on the flip side of that, the college program kids, because they have to smile for 8 hours, the instant they clock out, it is like, I don't know if you know any private school or Catholic school kids, like the ones that are forced to be nice. The instant they're on their own or away from adult supervision, they go extra crazy.
And that leads
that guy didn't go like that, though. He was completely,
Yeah, man.
We have those.
They're generally good people, and that, what your last point kind of leads us into the last segment.
Okay.
We always kind of wrap up talking about spirituality, and one of part of your 3G network is God. You've made vlogs about it. You've openly talked. You're one of the few people, again, at your caliber that's openly talked about your faith. So one, you kind of mentioned around like you're like 20 years old when you're like, I'm going to go straight edge, what kind of inspired that, and what kind of kept your faith alive?
It was the idea that we're going to be dead a lot longer than we're going to be alive.
Okay.
So when I start thinking like that, it's like,
that's an interesting way to look at life or death.
Both.
Yeah.
So my thing is this too. It's just like, all right, if there is no God, great.
Yeah.
But if there is a God, we need to find out who he is, what he wants, and same with like a parent. The more we try to please our parents, the more they're in turn going to try to please us.
Yeah.
And they talk about that in the Bible. It's like, I know how to please you the same way a parent knows how to please a child.
Yeah.
And when you think about what it's, you guys are creators.
Yeah.
So you know what it's like to create. As I look at God as an artist and a creator as well. So if you have this all-powerful being on your squad, like, that's a good place to operate from. So again, I feel like too, you can test these things. So I remember one of the things was tithes and offering. I had such a huge problem with that. That giving your 10% to the church.
And you give 10% of your income to your church.
And at first, it hurt. Like, as a lifeguard, I'm like, I don't have $100 to be giving. Not even 100 back then. It was a lot less.
Yeah.
I don't have that to be giving. But then as I start reading, I'm like, okay, it says that my income will multiply a lot exponentially because you treat it like you're planting seeds.
Yeah.
So if I have a crop and I plant this seed, that's going to grow and 10 more seeds are going to drop and grow and grow and grow. So if in a year, if I'm doing it with the right heart and the right mind and the right attitude and I'm doing this and nothing happens, that's a good indicator that this stuff doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm making in 20 days what I would make in a year at Hard Rock now.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm making 8 times that in a weekend based off sponsor deals. So it's just like, as I start to test this stuff, it's kind of like, okay, granted, we're all going to face hardships.
Yeah.
Bad things are going to happen to us.
Right.
And back in the day, I would look at that like, yeah, maybe God doesn't exist. When I didn't get into Cal Arts, I started thinking that.
Ooh.
I got that accept or decline letter.
Yeah.
Sorry to inform you. We regret to inform you. I'm like, all right, if there was a God, this wouldn't be happening. But had I gotten into Cal Arts, we probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
I'd probably be working for Pixar.
Yeah.
Spending X amount of hours every day. So that's the other thing too. It's like this stuff I believe is testable.
Yeah.
Any claims made, you should be able to test it if you're doing it right. Same thing too. They asked me in a interview I did last week or even this week. What day are we on? Friday?
Friday.
This week. They asked me who my role model was, and I said Jesus, and they were like, "Okay, but why though?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That dude, bro. You get slapped on one cheek and you turn the other. That is so hard for me to like fathom doing in the beginning." And little things along those lines, it's like, okay, it's a lifestyle. You really have to shift your lifestyle, and your lifestyle will keep you in or out of trouble along the way.
Yeah.
Look at the YouTube apocalypse. All these ads pulling out because of, all right, well, I don't want to be on this channel because of dropping F-bombs. Now, if I was following the wholesome path, there's no F-bombs on my channel. Yeah. Similar to how it is right now. There are no F-bombs on my channel.
Yeah.
So you kind of avoid a lot of pitfalls. Everything in this world, and this is the last thing I'll say on this, and we can move on if you want to. No. Everything in this world has an instruction booklet. It's kind of how I look at it. You buy a washer and dryer, it has an instruction booklet. Yeah. You mean to tell me the most intricate thing, life, would not have one? So I just test a lot of the claims. So, I mean, we're not all perfect, but I kind of aim for perfection.
Sure.
So when I fall short, if I'm aiming for an A+ and I fall short, I might get a B or maybe a C. Yeah. If I'm just aiming to pass.
No, that's a way to look at it that, I kind of grew up hearing that same thing, and then somewhere down the line you kind of like forget, and it's hard to remind yourself that. And there's a verse in the Quran that you basically kind of touched on, where it's like God saying, like, if you walk to me, I'll run to you. And I always it slips your mind, especially in hard times, like when you get rejected. That's when you're kind of like, you start quite like, you doubt things out of, I guess, maybe ego. I don't know.
It's a lot going on, man. It's like you start to wonder, like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have both had that thought at some point. Why is this happening?
Every day
I hang out with him. Yeah.
While I'm saying it, he's saying it. It's like,
I feel like, and what I've learned, it's all in how you digest it.
Yeah.
So, for example, when Holly/Molly stood me up on that vacation date,
ditched you,
and I spent 5 hours flying over there, spend $1,000 in the hotel
Good God,
room.
you flew?
Vacation date, bro.
flew her out to Hawaii.
And then I fly back. Molly was in Hawaii, by the way. Molly was another place. But yeah, so when that happens, in my head, I'm like, yo, this is jacked up. I'm a roaster. I'm a da-da-da-da-da. I'm so mad. I could go that route. You know what? I could vent on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, let's just have some fun with this.
Leave it there. Yeah.
And the amount of revenue I made off of that video, because it was a 3-parter in 1 week. All of them had over 1 million. I mean, I had the girl who starred in Moana.
Oh yeah.
I forget her name. Aliki or something. Akili.
Yeah.
She had me all over her Snapchat that week. Wow. I can't wait for part 2 of this. I can't wait for part 3 of this.
That's insane.
So I could have gone like, I hate you, and like blown up on her on my text but I start looking at, what, I'm gonna digest this in a mature way.
Yeah.
And vent about it on YouTube. It's all on how you digest things, man.
Yeah.
Bad things will happen to you.
How you decide how things affect you.
Hey, man, Adande, I really appreciate you coming out,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Thank you
Pleasure's
so
been
much for
mine.
spending time
Thank
with
you
us.
so much. Appreciate
Before you leave, I have one last note.
Bro, ring it.
My friend,
10 more notes.
No, just like quick thing. My friend was like, please ask about this. Call of Booty Girl.
You want to see her? I can show you guys what she looks like.
Okay. What did she?
I'm kidding. I'll never show them.
What like did she come back? Or are you guys in a relationship?
He wants to know an update.
She wants to know about the update. Yeah.
Oh, so she?
Yeah.
Okay, so me and Call of Duty Booty Girl did hang out. I don't want to say where because these ninjas,
We'll find
they keep track of where.
Yeah.
We did hang out a few weeks/months ago.
Okay.
Nothing went down. She was in a relationship at the time, but I will say, as of this moment, she is now single.
Are you guys a thing?
No.
Okay.
We are not a thing.
I think that's.
But it could be. That's good drama, man.
That's good
Leave it
drama,
open
man.
ended.
Super good drama.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you,
Thank you,
bro.
man.
Appreciate you coming.
Not a problem.
Sorry for it running a little.
No, you're fine. Let me just
over
make sure
time,
these
man.
guys are not like burning down any houses.
For sure. There was just a lot that happened right now.
A lot.
We talked.
I was really hoping to someday get fans and then be mean to them, but now I can't.
Yeah, I think
feel
that
bad now.
that was eye-opening.
I don't have any fans to be mean to yet, but
I like his perspective, his take. He's been in the public eye for a long time. If you watch his videos, it's hard to believe anything he says.
Yeah.
Because they're just so outrageous. But I feel like after talking to him, I'm like,
makes sense.
I can see these stories happening,
Oh, Kim missed her chance. Could you imagine how different her life would be if she had married Swoozie?
You got to go back to like 2008 to watch that, how he met Kim Kardashian. But anyway, it was a great episode. I really, sometimes when you have a guest come in and they leave and you're just like, we could have done better, But this was one of those episodes where you're just like, I thoroughly enjoyed that conversation.
Good. We have to have him back again.
We do, and I hope he comes back sometime.
Hey, he was wearing a key on his necklace. What do you think that's for? His house?
I think his chastity belt.
Oof. Got to keep that locked tight. Yeah.
Okay.
He's testing himself, though. He's keeping the key himself.
Probably.
You got to give it to your mom or your dad.
Anyway, so
that's for another episode.
check out check us out on iTunes, on SoundCloud. Please rate us on iTunes. Give us a 10, 8, 12-star review.
Send this video to someone you know.
Send this
someone
video.
that you love.
Yeah.
Leave
some hate comments in our YouTube video.
It's actually a great way to reconnect with someone. Maybe had a falling out, not talk to someone in a while.
Just send them
this video and be like, how are you?
Yeah. And check out last week's episode, our first live event that we did with Hassan Minhaj at NYU.
The first of many.
The first of many. If you're a school and you want to host the podcast,
let us know.
Hit up our producer.
Let us know.
Email is in somewhere. The email is there.
Email's there.
It's like in our about side. And
we also put the link for the Chameleonaire Michael Jordan video.
The Chameleonaire story. So check out, subscribe to the channel.
We love you.
Share
we
the
care
video.
for you.
And we genuinely want to thank you.
Yeah. Have a conversation.
Have a conversation. Man.
Okay, this was great. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Same place.
This is The Apartment.
Bye.
Thank you to our producer.
Oh, shout out to our producer.
Did we shout him out?
I think.
I don't like the guy, honestly.
Me either,
But
man.
he's right behind the camera. So shout out to our producer, Sumair Khan.
And I think that's all we have to
that's
say
all
about
we
him.
have to say. God damn it.
All right, man. We'll see you
Bye.
soon. We're trying to be more consistent now.
Yes, consistency.